Exodus 16 to 18. They took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the sons of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. The whole congregation of the sons of Israel grumbled against Moses and against Aaron in the wilderness. And the sons of Israel said to them, "We wish that we had died in the land of Yahweh, in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the meat pots, when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." Then Yahweh said to Moses, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my Torah or not. It shall come to pass on the 6th day that they shall prepare that which they bring in, and that shall be twice as much as they gather daily." Moses and Aaron said to all the sons of Israel, "At evening you shall know that Yahweh has brought you out of the land of Egypt. In the morning you will see the glory of Yahweh, because he hears your grumblings against Yahweh. What are we, that you should grumble against us?" Moses said, "Now Yahweh will give you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to satisfy you, because Yahweh hears your grumblings which you grumble against him. And who are we? Your grumblings are not against us, but against Yahweh." Then Moses said to Aaron, "Tell all the congregation of the sons of Israel, come close to Yahweh, for he has heard your grumblings." As Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the sons of Israel, they looked towards the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the grumblings of the sons of Israel. Speak to them, saying, At evening you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, your God." In the evening quail came up and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew around the camp. When the layer of dew had gone up, behold, the surface of the wilderness was a small round thing, small as the frost on the ground. When the sons of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. Moses said to them, "It is the bread which Yahweh has given to you to eat. This thing which Yahweh has commanded. Gather of it, everyone according to his eating, an omer a head, according to the number of your persons. You shall take it, every man for those who are in his tent." The sons of Israel did so, and some gathered more, some less, when they measured it with an omer. He who gathered much had nothing left, and he who gathered little had no lack. They each gathered according to his eating. Moses said to them, "Let no one leave it until morning." However, they did not listen to Moses, but some of them left part of it until morning, and it bred worms and became foul. And Moses was angry with them, and they gathered it morning by morning, everyone according to his eating. When the sun grew hot, it melted. On the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. And all the rulers of the congregation came to Moses. He said to them, This is that which Yahweh has spoken. Tomorrow is a Shabbat rest, a holy Shabbat to Yahweh. Bake what you will bake, and boil what you will boil, and all that remains over, lay aside to be kept until the morning. They laid it aside until the morning, as Moses ordered, and it did not become foul, and there were no worms in it. Moses said, "Eat that today, for today is a Shabbat to Yahweh. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day it is a Shabbat. In it there shall be none." On the 7th day some of the people went out to gather, and they found none. Yahweh said to Moses, "How long do you refuse to keep my mitzvot and my Torah? Behold, because Yahweh has given you the Shabbat, Therefore he gives you on the 6th day the bread on 2 days. Everyone stay in his place. Let no one go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. The house of Israel named it manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and its taste like wafers with honey. Moses said, "This is a thing which Yahweh has commanded. Let a full omer of it be kept throughout your generations, that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and put a full omer of manna in it, and place it before Yahweh, to be kept throughout your generations, just as Yahweh commanded Moses." So Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. The sons of Israel ate the manna 40 years until they came to inhabited land. They ate the manna until they came to the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. All the congregation of the sons of Israel traveled from the wilderness of Sin, starting according to the commandment of Yahweh, and camped in Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people quarreled with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." Moses said to them, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you test Yahweh?" The people were thirsty for water there. So the people complained against Moses and said, "Why have you brought us out of Egypt? To kill us, our children, and our livestock with thirst?" Moses cried to Yahweh, saying, "What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me." Yahweh said to Moses, "Walk on before the people, and take the elders of Israel with you, and take the staff in your hand with which you struck the Nile, and go. Behold, I will stand before you on the rock of Horeb. You shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink." Moses did it in the sight of the elders of Israel. He named the place Massah and Meribah, because the sons of Israel quarreled, and because they tested Yahweh, saying, "Is Yahweh among us or not?" Then Amalek came and fought with Israel in Rephidim. Moses said to Joshua, "Choose men for us and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will go stand on top of the hill with God's staff in my hand." For Joshua did as Moses had told him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up from the top of the hill. When Moses held up his staff, Israel prevailed. When he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held up his hands, the one on one side, the other on the other side. His hands were steady until sunset. Joshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Then Yahweh said to Moses, "Write this for a memorial in a book, and recite it in the ears of Joshua, that I will utterly blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven." And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Adonai Nisai. And he said, "Yah has sworn, Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." Now Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard all of that God had done for Moses and for his people Israel. Now how Yahweh had brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, received Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her away, with her 2 sons. The name of one son was Gershom, for Moses said, "I have lived as a foreigner in a foreign land." The name of the other was Eliezer, for he said, "My father's God was my help and delivered me from Pharaoh's sword." Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came to Moses' sons and his wife to Moses into the wilderness, where he was camped at the mountain of God. He said to Moses, "I, your father-in-law, Jethro, have come to you with your wife and her 2 sons with her." Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed and kissed him. They asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. Then Moses told his father-in-law all that Yahweh had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake. all the hardships that had come on them on their way, and how Yahweh delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness that Yahweh had done to Israel, in that he had delivered them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Jethro said, "Blessed be Yahweh, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all gods, because on the way that they treated the people arrogantly, and Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrificed to God, Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. On the next day Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood around Moses from the morning to evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw that all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that you do for the people? Why do you sit alone, and all the people stand around you from morning until evening?" And Moses said to his father-in-law, "Because the people come to me and inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come to me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, and I make them know the statutes of God and his law." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "The thing that you do is not good. You will surely wear away both yourself and these people who are with you, for the task is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it yourself alone. Listen now to my voice. I will give you counsel, and God be with you. You represent the people before God, and bring the causes to God. You shall teach them the statutes and the laws, and shall show them the way in which they must walk, and the work which they must do. Moreover, you shall select out of all the people able men who fear God, men of truth, who hate dishonest gain, and place such men over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, rulers of tens. Let them judge the people at all times. It shall be that every great matter they shall bring to you, but every small matter they shall judge themselves. So shall it be easier for you, and they shall share the load with you. If you will do this thing, and God commands you so, then you'll be able to endure, and all these people also will go to their place in Shalom." So Moses listened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the peoples, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. So they judged the peoples at all times. They brought the hard cases to Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. Then Moses let his father-in-law depart, and they went his way into his own land.